Welcome to ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective. Join us, Adam and Donna, as we navigate the ups and downs of living with ADHD in a relationship. With no holds barred discussions and real life stories, we explore the journey of questioning ADHD and ask, is it ADHD or just life? Welcome to Is It ADHD or Life, a couple's perspective, where we unravel what it's like to live with ADHD in a relationship. And this week we're asking the question, is it ADHD or should I be able to tell the time? And we're asking, does Adam know his 9 a.m. from his 3 p.m?
I can tell the time.
I'm not too sure. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are
Good,
you?
good. Yeah, good, thank you. How's your 2 weeks been? What's your ADHD wins or losses?
No, it's been good. We were up very early this morning, so I'm feeling
very early.
confident.
Why were we up early, Adam?
I went to get my ears sucked.
You just got blocked yesterday, didn't it? And you were like, I cannot do this podcast without getting it sorted.
Bit of a tantrum yesterday, big tantrum.
Oh, big tantrum, big.
I was half deaf and it affected my life, and I thought everybody was talking about me.
As if that wasn't bad enough normally. So we were like up very early, wasn't we? Mm-hmm, well, some of us were earlier than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how's your week been? How's your week been?
Oh, okay. We never asked me.
No.
Okay. So I made a few notes actually.
Oh, good.
Only because I like to make notes about what we've done like the weeks and stuff like that, just in case you forget. So I've wrote down some like wins and fails. More on the subject of like how we've worked together as a team. Mm-hmm. So I think the last 2 weeks you've been planning your day a little bit better, like your days a little bit better, which has really, really helped. I think our family life more than anything. I think you've definitely took the pressure off me a little bit.
Oh, good.
Even like making tea and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I think that one time that you made tea, I came in, your face was like thunder. Was there a reason for that?
I was very overstimulated. I do spaghetti bolognese. I've got spaghetti bolognese. That is what I can do.
Yeah.
Don't make me do fish in the air fryer at the same time and chips. And no.
Not my fault. You're somewhat eating. No. But yeah, I think that's really, really helped us as a team. I think as well.
Yeah, it's been good.
Is the fact that because you've been planning better and you've been more focused, and I think that's really helped like the way we run things at home. Yeah, which has been good. Maybe a bit of an ADHD fail is is when we're going out together and stuff, and like this is not my moan, by the way. Okay. But I just struggle sometimes. These last 2 weeks I've been struggling when like we're going out together and you've just got you to look after.
Oh. You mean like this morning?
Oh, one of them was this morning, yeah. Like I lie there in bed and I think, right, I'll set the alarm for this time because I'll need to get me ready. Then I'll need to make milk, get the baby ready, make coffees, leave the house, pack the bag. And it's just like a big, massive, what do you think?
Do you know how difficult it is for me to watch you doing that? It's very difficult.
Because I imagine you just sit there and think, I've just got to get ready, I pick up my coffee, pick up my keys and go. Maybe sort the car out.
I will admit that I think I give myself other jobs, like maybe make it a bit more difficult for myself. So
like, where's my hat? Where's my jacket? Where's my deodorant? I don't know. Where did you take them off? Where did you put them down?
Yeah, no, I understand you. It's difficult because mornings are not my thing.
No,
unless in the very rare occasion I wake up and but. No, it wasn't.
I feel like you saw my face twice this morning as well when you asked for where's my blue jacket and where's my deodorant. Yeah. Because you saw my face kind of probably like, right.
I mean, do you know how annoying that baby screaming was?
I was like, I'll tell you. But no, I think...
Anyway, good week.
Yeah, but no, there's been more goods and bads, and I think it's because, I think it's down to the fact that you've been planning a bit better, which has been amazing. So hats off to you.
Oh, thanks.
ADHD win. Woo.
Don't do that.
Sorry. So this week we are looking at should you be able to tell the time, and basically about time, what's it called again? Time blindness. Time blindness. Yes. Before we go into that, I would just like to read an email out that we got. Okay, so hello. I'm a student in high school who does not have ADHD. However, my brother and dad both do.
Do we know where this is coming from?
I believe so.
Yeah. This impacts me in many ways. For example, on school days, I have to get dropped off by my dad with my brother as he goes to school just after me, and I'm unable to walk there due to distance. This causes problems for me as we are occasionally late. Don't they call it late Thursdays?
They do, and I hate that.
This has been getting better as we've not been late for a while now, but we still refer to it as Thursdays, late Thursdays due to the potential for lateness. Personally, I'm always ready on time and prepared to leave earlier than necessary. This person does not have time blindness, like whatsoever. This person sets alarms for time. Opposite. Yeah. I then have to wait for my dad and my brother to be ready. My brother spends ages in his bedroom. When he eventually comes downstairs to eat his breakfast that he never finishes, he takes another 15 minutes before he finally is almost ready. Or he comes downstairs after 10 minutes saying that he doesn't have the uniform that he needs. When he goes upstairs to brush his teeth, we can hear him dancing, often singing or talking to himself. He also often ends up going back into his room, suddenly remembering that he has to do something else with no care for time. I believe this may be due to his ADHD. This email has come from your daughter.
Yes, it has.
It is not just my brother who was the problem, though. The problem. Oh. Mm-hmm. My dad sits on the couch watching the news and scrolling through Facebook. He waits until everyone is finally ready to leave, even my brother has finished his typical bedroom ballet, and then decides he isn't ready as he still has to finish getting dressed or putting his shoes on or finding his phone or getting coffee. He waits to ask me if I'm ready, despite the fact I've been ready for 15 minutes, and then when I say yes, he finally moves, realising it may be an acceptable time for him to begin to get ready to leave. Sometimes, even then, he still sits scrolling through Facebook until he jumps up and realises we may be late or someone reminds him. After they are both finally ready, we rush to the car and leave for school. This is where we listen to my dad's great show where he performs many songs for us. I think it's an attempt to make up for the chaos that just took place before we left. They're slowly improving and we are late less now, so congratulations to them. This is just one example of how their ADHD impacts my normal life that I thought I could share. Thank you to your daughter.
Yes, thank you.
So that's heavily all time blindness for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this then. So, go on, sorry.
No, go.
So, time blindness, it says, so I just get my notes up that should have. It's basically, time blindness is a common symptom of ADHD. It makes it difficult to sense how much time has passed or how long something will take. So you may be frequently late, have trouble planning or rush to complete tasks. You may also over or underestimate how much time has passed or not know which of two activities will take longer. I think this is you down to a T.
So I remember in the first episode I said that I don't want ADHD, but it would explain so much. Mm-hmm. And I think one of these was an eye-opener when I read that. It was like, it explained so much in my whole life. Mm-hmm. This is since like back in school days. Mm-hmm. It's been major in my life, major. And I know now, obviously you get the pleasure of sharing that.
The pleasure.
But it's crazy, and it's one extreme to the other, and I'm looking forward to let's
unravel it.
Yes,
I think I know we joked like last week that like obsession was one of your kind of like main, or your hyperfixation was one of your main kind of like symptoms as you were. Mm-hmm. But I think this is up there as well.
This is daily, many times a day. I think it's So we'll start with that lovely email that definitely wasn't a personal attack.
On both of you?
Yeah, no, on a bedroom ballet, you'll love that. That describes it down to a T. Mm-hmm. That is what I'll do in every situation. Doesn't matter. And I need a deadline. So say in the morning we've got to leave at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Used to be 10 to 8.
Yeah, now it's not.
I think that's why we're on time now, because we've moved the time. So I'll think, right, I need to be ready at 8. So I need to get up. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do that. Then we'll leave at 8. Doesn't work like that. I'll sit down, I'll have my coffee, news will be on, I'll be reading Facebook, and then
searching for stuff on Marketplace.
Yeah, searching for stuff on Marketplace. And then before you know it, it's 2 minutes to 8, and then it's a mad rush, it's a mad panic. Need to do this, need to do that. Everybody out, bad mood, stressed out. And
that bad mood like rolls onto like your son, for example. Not so much your daughter because she just keeps quiet about it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that rolls onto your son because then he as well probably just sat there watching TV. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the baby's down, so we're all fussing over the baby. Mm-hmm. But then that's mad rush for him as well. Mm-hmm. And I think you forget to be like, oh, have you done this? Have you done that? Like to kind of like prompt people along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's constant, and with my son, the beauty is now that he watches the podcast religiously.
Yeah.
So now he says stuff like, well, that's what you do. So that's became difficult. We're watching you. But this has been throughout my whole life. And I messaged my sister during the week about, we've got a long running joke that I would phone a taxi to go somewhere.
I know what you're doing, yeah.
And then I would get in the bath. So I would have left it right. And because I was late.
Why a bath though? Why not just jump in the shower?
I lived in my grandhouse. They won't
Right,
go and
okay.
had a bath.
Right, okay.
I was really young. Well, I wasn't even, I was maybe 18. I was working. I was going to work and I would phone a taxi, but I've left myself so little time that I would run a bath, eat crunchy nuts while the bath's running. I've phoned the taxi, I'm eating crunchy nuts while the bath's running, then I jump in the bath, thrash about in the bath for a minute, and then the taxi driver's sitting outside waiting for me. And not just once, this was every week, this was every time I was going to work. But it's not something that even I can't control that. I can't. You could say, well, just start getting ready. That's the easy solution. Start getting ready half an hour early. And how many times do you say that to me?
I mean, to be fair, like even like I don't want to say normal people, but like even
neurotypical.
Yes, people. Oh. Like even I might lie in bed and set my alarm for 8 o'clock, and then I've got to be like up and showered. But I might be like, oh, I'll have 5 more minutes and stuff like that. But I think like I had to kick you out of bed this morning. So I think even regular people, like, not like, do you know what I mean? Like even like they like might push themselves, but not to the extent that like
no.
Here we go again, levels.
The levels are,
Yeah.
but this one I cannot explain, and I don't know the solution because I cannot do the half an hour early thing. If we are getting dressed to go, say, a night out, which very rarely happens,
No.
but if we were, I would make sure, or if the whole family's going out, I need to make sure everybody else gets dressed first, because I don't want to be the one sitting dressed in the living room waiting.
So is that what it is? And you don't want to wait?
I don't want to
So
wait.
for the taxi man scenario, when you were going to work, if you got up, got bathed, got ready, then phoned your taxi, is it that waiting bit?
I'd be waiting. I don't want to wait. I'm sat and dressed. So.
I suppose in them days there was no Facebook either to like scroll a marketplace to buy stuff.
But on the other side of it, it is that if you're scrolling Facebook, you're getting back to dopamine. You're getting that, or you're watching a TV program.
Yeah.
Like yesterday I had a break. I had a break between two parties.
Okay.
So I came back to the house, which is very unusual, and I sat down, got McDonald's, sat down, and I thought, I'm going to watch one Emmerdale. I watch Emmerdale, well done, I watch rugby or whatever. So I thought,
Man's man.
I'm going to watch Emmerdale, one Emmerdale, it's on for 22 minutes, and then I'll get dressed and go to the next party. And then I thought, I've got exactly, and it was exactly 44 minutes. I can watch two. So I was 10 minutes late for the party. No, I wasn't late, but I was 5 minutes late getting set up. But it was just, I was watching it and I thought, I know what I need to be doing. I know that I've got, and then I think I give myself challenges. Well, I could do that in 7 minutes. I only need 7 minutes to get out of the house.
You do this to me. I only need like 10 minutes to get ready, and then it takes you 15. You know, like if we're going somewhere and like me and the baby are ready, well, I'll get showered at this time because it only takes me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I think that's the other thing that comes up into it. It says about overestimating or underestimating time.
So yeah, we'll go on to that as well. Because another thing is, you're talking yesterday about you've got 22 minutes and then you've thought, oh, I can watch 2 episodes. But you do that every evening as well. Every night that you're going to work for a quiz, we will have tea at roughly about 5 o'clock. God, like our life is just like... So roughly about 5 o'clock we'll have tea, and we watch Deal or No Deal. And then you're supposed to go for a shower at 6. And guaranteed most nights you will still be sat there at like 6:15.
Yeah. Because I can do it in 15 minutes.
No, you can't. Because then what happens is you go get ready, you run downstairs, you're moody with us all, you walk out of the house, and then me and your daughter are like, I'm like, did I do anything then? Like, am I the reason he's moody? And we look at each other. But then, like, you're just scrambling around and
It's, I wish I could explain
I know,
it.
I know.
This is one of these that I struggle with because we're not going to get an answer today. There's
No.
no solution. I don't know the solution. There is that doing things early thing, but
or setting alarms.
boring.
So, taking it back to when you said that your bath situation. So, what about earlier than that? Like, do you remember as a kid, kind of like being late for stuff or struggling with time management?
So I struggle with this one, right? Because like we're talking about lateness, and I know we had a conversation this morning where he says that you don't think I'm ever early for stuff, but I don't think I'm actually late that often. Not late.
No, if we were going somewhere, I guess, or we had a reservation, or we were like, you wouldn't be late as such. But like this morning, for example, we wanted to leave at 7:30.
Yeah.
And we left at 7:45.
But surely with the half, I think what we tend to do is leave ourselves more time because there's the expectation of late. Like
Maybe.
Let's take. I know we will go back to the younger stuff, but take parties at the weekend, right? Mm-hmm. If my party starts at 12, then I'll need to leave at like what, 10:30.
You like to get there. You like to get there, say 45 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
right.
Just to sit round. I hide round the
corner.
Oh
yeah. Because you can't. You set up takes like 10 minutes, doesn't it?
So, but I think I put more preparation into. I don't think I'm late. Like I would never. I think being late's rude.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm overly late to
No, I don't think you're late to stuff. I just think that we leave late. Like, so you say this morning that we left ourselves enough time, but you had an appointment at 9:00 and we got there at 9:00.
Yeah. Mm.
So I think it's more about the time beforehand. You will give yourself enough time to get to where you're going, but it's the getting ready to go somewhere. That's the bit. Yeah.
So when I was younger, I remember even going to school, it would be, I would leave at 8:20, but I think we would have the TV on in the morning, and I would remember leaving it till the very last minute, and then you're running down the road. I remember doing that. And stuff like deadlines, if there's, I think that's a different subject, but if I've got a deadline, then it's not getting done until it's
that
the
isn't
panic.
Some of the research that I've got actually about deadlines and stuff. For me, like one thing that I struggle with, or one thing I struggled with in the beginning of our relationship was how, which is a good thing, like for you on your part, was how early you used to get to stuff for. So, for example, like quizzes, and I'd be like, "Why are you getting there an hour early? Like it takes you 10 minutes to set up, so why do you have to be there an hour early?" And like I never used to understand it, but now like I understand it more.
Well, we were talking last week about the airport.
Yeah.
You do this wonderful thing where you think that we can go into the airport an hour before the flight and go through security, and then then you're on the plane like a bus stop. No. You need 3 hours, like the good old days. You get to the airport, you go through security. Everything needs time. I don't like I know you would. I'll give myself half an hour for something that will take 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that end panicking. I would rather get all the panicking done
before you left.
Before I left.
Kind of,
and then just relax before you go to do the thing. That's what I found.
So you were late for school and stuff. Like when you were younger, you rushed to get to school. Then when you're working, you're then rushed to get to work.
Yes.
Taking baths, etc.
Bath.
What about when you started your own business and stuff? How did the time management or time blindness affect you then, do you think?
So I think that's where it changes.
Okay.
So I think business-wise, work-wise, it's the opposite. I'll give myself too much time to do something, like the getting to things too early.
Yeah.
I'll still do all the stressful things like maybe pass parcel 3 minutes before I leave for a party. But it's I wouldn't, you know what I'm like with being late for a party. I cannot be late for a party. I won't be late for a party. And at the weekend, was it last weekend, we were struggling for time getting to the next party.
Yeah.
And the panic, and this isn't me being on time for a party is half an hour early. So I don't like that panic. That is not a nice panic. That is it, because then I'm letting people down. I'm letting other people down, and looks bad on me, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's almost like from one extreme to another. From one extreme, being at home, kind of rushing around, spreading that against the five of us.
Every week. I apologise.
But then the opposite end, where you're giving yourself loads of time to make sure that it doesn't impact your business.
Yeah.
Kind of. It says here causes ADHD can affect the prefrontal cortex, which can hinder time management skills.
Knew it was a prefrontal cortex.
People with ADHD may also have shorter time horizons than neurotypical people, meaning they have a harder time seeing the future clearly. Right?
Go on. Okay.
No, go on.
So I think we mentioned last night that, or was it this time? I don't
Blows
know.
into one.
I don't like planning stuff in the future. I can't. If something goes too far out of my timeline, then it's not a thing.
So when I met you, I was like, oh, let's book this concert, or let's book this. And you were like, oh, it's only like, say, 3 months away. And I'm like, yeah, and you couldn't get over the fact that like you would book something like, so far in advance. Peter Kay went on sale and I was like, let's go. And you were like, not for 2 years' time, not booking them tickets.
That was 2023.
Yeah.
You wanted to book tickets for 2025. No, we'll try Marketplace that day. See if anybody's selling them. And that's what I would. It still amazes me now, since we've been together, that we plan stuff and then it happens. So if we do stuff, like we've been away and stuff, and I'll be sitting in the plane like, well, we're actually doing it. We've gone away and we planned this maybe 6 months ago. I think 6 months would still be my limit. Just now. Like now we're in December. Oh, Christmas presents, where you get a Christmas present and it's a ticket for something in November. No, there's fun in that. I don't want it. Take it back.
I've already bought it.
No. But
so, what about like planning a wedding? Like obviously we're planning a wedding. I say planning a wedding. We've booked it and we've not actually started like the planning bit yet, have we? Because it's not until this time next year.
But we're saying it's not until this time next year when people are planning their weddings for 2028. This
is what I mean. Like, how does that make you feel that, like, so how does it make you feel that we've either, it's so far away anyway still, and we've not started doing anything, or that that's going to come around like that and we've not started doing anything? Like, what's your feelings on that?
I feel like that, like I feel about leaving the house. So right now, nothing. There's not a panic. There's not a stress. It's next December. What's the problem? We've not looked at a thing. Booked a venue. That's it. Come at me in October, or come at me the night before. And I'm like, oh no, we've done nothing.
But like, we booked this in March, didn't we?
That it's the exact same. It's a time blind. I said, what does that look like for you? What are you feeling about that?
So I know that like obviously from March to December has gone well quick. So now I'm thinking, oh gosh, I best look at that. So, but you know what I'm like though? I'm not. No, but like going back to last week when you talked about like hyperfixation, it kind of like that's still how my brain works in the sense that, right, well, we've got this to plan first, then we'll look at this. So I work in like a timeline order kind of thing. Whereas, you don't agree?
I agree.
Oh, right,
you
yeah. Whereas, like, you will, once we start planning this wedding, that might be all you fixate on for a little bit. And I know it, like, we talked about this last week, but it kind of all goes in together, doesn't it?
It does.
So I know come January, I will start looking at that then. And then I'll do little bits here and there and I'll start making stuff and I'll start sending invites out. And
I'll be like,
but you'll be like, it's too early. Because there's still another, like, 12 months, 11 months to go. But, yeah.
But then the night before, I'll be very
But then if you don't help me with stuff, I'll get angry because I'll be like, ugh.
Is this a warning?
Yes.
Place for warnings.
What a marriage.
Since I sat down and spoke, my head is just going like never before because of the examples I can come up with, but it's all just coming down to the same thing. And there's funny ones and there's serious ones, but it's that feeling. I wish I could explain the feeling of the 10 minutes. But do you think it's a rush?
Do I think you rush?
No.
Oh, sorry.
We know a rush.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a rush?
Oh, I don't understand. I wouldn't never understand how that could be a dopamine hit. The look on your face when you come down from the stairs after,
I know.
Like, I don't understand how that could be nice.
But
do you ever get in your car and think, "Oof, that was a rush"? Do you? While me and the kids are sat in the living room being like, "What the hell just happened?" You're getting in the car going, "Did it again? Oh yeah."
no, absolutely not. But 9 times out of 10, you'll get a voice message about 3 minutes down the road.
I know I got one last week or the week before that said, "Well, that was really good. I handled that very well, thank you." And like, it was about your panic, like you handled it well. Have you got another example? Like, can you think of any?
Honestly, it's the bath situation. I just remember, I'll never forget.
The bath
every
is funny.
week gone, and sometimes you couldn't get hot water, so it would be like you would have that much hot water, and I was like thrashing it. We used to call it thrashing about in the bath because.
I'm sorry, are you me?
Because I left it that long and our only time to run that much water thrashing because the taxi driver's beeping outside.
Would your granddad be like outside going, "Adam, your taxi's here"?
So I don't think that, where would they have been? No, I think I used to just go on with it. I would do my own thing. It wasn't really. They would just see what you see, but just a vision. But that brings up
a vision of
no, not the thrashing. That's the vision nobody wants. But what that reminds me of is, again, we spoke about it in another episode where my gran used to shout "Adam" the way you now shout "Adam," and I cannot explain what that does when you're already rushing. And like if you'll be shouting, or no, you don't shout, sorry, I apologise. You remind me gently. Genuinely, you gently remind me. And I know you're trying to be nice and you're trying to do me a favour, and you'll be like, "Adam, that's 18 minutes past now." It makes me so angry.
So I need to save this because it's my 5-minute moan. But I will definitely be like when you sat on the couch, we'll go to the couch one, and I'd be like, "Oh, do you know it's 6:10?" Yes, I know. And you're right, I do try and do it nicely because in my head, I'm thinking, I don't want to make him mad because I don't want him to go out on the foot of us being rude with each other. But someone needs to remind him. It's like the whole put your phone down thing again. Someone needs to remind you, and you get angry inside.
You're not even my real mum.
But it's because you know I'm right, and you hate that fact kind of thing. Like, you know that. It's
almost like, whether it be you telling me or back to when it was my gran telling me that I know.
Yeah.
But so why are you not doing anything about it? You must be going mad in your head thinking, why are you not moving then?
Oh, honestly, like I can't. There's a bit that I want to touch on and I can't just yet. Yeah, I think you know what's coming.
I think that's maybe me being frustrated at myself more than I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Projection. I must be projecting.
Yeah. Like you're like, why can't I just?
Why can't I get up, Adam?
It's funny though because if you when the darts room was like accessible, you would play darts and do some work, and you would set your timer for like say 30 minutes each time. Then you would do 45 minutes work and you'd set Alexa to an alarm. So why can't you do things like that? So I know, like, your daughter, she will, if we're leaving the house at 12, she'll have an alarm set for 12. She will have an alarm set for 10 to 12 to, like, maybe, I don't know, pack your bag, 11:30, get up, that kind of thing. Would you think that would help you? Like, does that not come into your head to do that?
There's a couple of reasons I won't.
Okay.
The first one being that I love that there's a name for it. I think it starts with P. It's the time effect that I use, where I'll do 40 minutes and then you take 5-minute break and then it's another 40 minutes.
And that just, when you do that in the daytime, that just works for you. And
great.
I've watched you do that and been amazed.
Yeah. But there was one time. There was one time when we first met and I was making my spaghetti bolognese and you don't know what's coming, and I was making spaghetti bolognese and when I was cooking, I had exact timer set for every single thing. And you went at me. You took the Mickey right out of me for my timers, and it's how I got the spaghetti bolognese perfect. And I've got a fear that that if I run my life through Alexa, then you'll take the Mickey out of me all the time, and I can't handle it.
But I've just said I like the daytime
No, but
one.
you laughed at me for my spaghetti bolognese.
No, I think it's because I will make something and I will like bang garlic bread in the oven, and I'll just
whenever you want.
and I'll just go back for 10 minutes. But you would look at that packet and you'd be like, oh, it says 12 minutes. I'll put a 12-minute timer on.
Yes. No, I know that the mince has got to brown for about the 10 minutes and put the onions in, then 3 minutes later. But you laughed at me. And I just can't handle being laughed at my whole life.
But that's because probably it's the first time I've ever come across that.
But can you imagine putting that into place at 6 o'clock in the evening?
But maybe you need to.
But do you think I would get up when Alexa went off?
No, I think you'd be like, it's already gone 1 minute past. I can't get up at that time. I'll have to leave it till another 4 minutes.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
You can't get up in an odd number. That would be ridiculous.
Can I read this to you? Because I think there's a few bits in here that I think relate to you. So people with ADHD consistently have challenges with perceiving time. So estimating how much time has passed or how much time is left before an upcoming event.
Okay.
I think you definitely, that's what we've been discussing. Time sequencing. So correctly recounting the order in which events occurred. Do you think you struggle with that?
I don't think. I've never thought about that. I don't know.
So, like, if you were to remember stuff like from history, like things that you've done, or history, like you come from the 50s, stuff that you've done, do you think you remember it in exact order or when things happened? Because that's also part of the time blindness thing as well.
I think I would probably get slightly mixed up, but would everybody not? Would you not, if you were looking back thinking...
Oh, I've got a terrible memory sometimes, though. I think that's nothing to do with...
that.
No, it isn't. So, and time reproduction, so repeating a task for the same amount of time that occurred previously.
Okay.
So, if you repeat... So, say you... I don't know what you would do. A task. Oh, so maybe like get into your quiz, for example. Do you... So, you repeat that task 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Do you think the timings are always spot on for that kind of thing?
I think I know what the time should be.
Yeah.
And the more I think it, just sitting talking, my head's gone mad, and I'm thinking, I think I've put into place time for that panic.
Right, okay.
I think like my leaving time is actually 7:15, but I just like to... I think I like that stress.
Right, okay.
The leaving stress. I think it must be some kind of buzz.
So tomorrow night,
No.
when you're stressing around and you run downstairs at 7:15, I'd be like, don't forget you like this. I'll remind you.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
But I don't know. I don't know about the doing stuff for the same amount of time. I'm still thinking about the progression thing, the chronological.
Oh, right, okay.
That's thrown me, that one.
Right, because you don't realise that that's probably part of like the time blindness. And I think everyone has some element of remembering things and how they were, especially when it's like 20 years ago, for example. So I suppose it's things like maybe like nearer to now. Like, do you remember like how they worked and stuff? But I think you like. So, for example, I might say like, oh, we went on holiday to like. If I said to you, when did we go on holiday to Spain?
Oh, nothing.
Do you know what I mean? Like.
Again, when you're talking, I'm thinking, like, you could list all the places we've been. I don't think I couldn't tell you
couldn't put them in order.
we've been in. No, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Never thought of that.
So that's also part of it.
You think I've got it?
What, ADHD? I think maybe a little bit. Some strategies to help time blindness. So tracking time. So this is what you do. So you set your clock ahead, use a visible timer, or use a time tracking app or spreadsheet. Maybe don't get a spreadsheet out.
No.
But I do think that through the day, you're good at tracking your time. But I just don't know what happens when it comes to the evening.
I'm just so scared to get laughed at and bullied in my own home.
Shut up. One time. Think about me that's got to live with that.
Every time I set that timer for the spaghetti bolognese, I think about it. She's laughing at me.
No. It's now your daughter cooks spaghetti bolognese with you. It's
I know.
4 minutes is up. I've got to go stir it. Love that, by the way.
I don't think it would work. It's not the same thing. It's not. I tell myself over and over again, you need to move half an hour before.
Yeah.
I don't move.
No, you don't.
So I don't understand how, like, if the timer went off in the background, I would then think, oh.
I think it would do your head in more. I think you'd be like, you're not telling me to move. Do you know what I mean?
It would be the Alexa equivalent of Adam.
Yeah. So interestingly, it says increase in dopamine. So eat food rich in vitamin B6, drink coffee, go out in the sunlight or exercise. There are strategies for helping with time blindness.
Mm-hmm. I get it, because that could be another thing. Obviously, during the day, if I'm up and about and like drinking coffee, you're going, so you're not just sitting. Whereas at night time, when it comes to tea time, we've just had tea and I'm sitting like
to be fair, everyone wants to relax after they've had the tea. It's kind of like the time to relax, isn't it? But as in you've got to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
And do you think as well, because we're all sat there as well and you know that we don't have to move, do you think maybe that thing you think, oh,
definitely, yeah.
That's part of it as well. Do you want us to leave the room and then you can go and get ready?
Is that all right? Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Or if you could just all pretend you're going to work too. That make me feel a lot better.
Whereas time blindness has it ever got you into trouble?
Oh, many times. I once did a job and what a bad one.
I hope it's the one I think is coming.
And I was, again, really young, and I was working and I was constantly late, and I just could not get this. I've never been good at early mornings, never been good at early morning jobs.
I'll come back to that in a second. Go on, sorry.
But I was constantly late, and the man took me into his office and he was like, look, Adam, I'm sorry, but I'm going to let you go. And I've never been sacked, and I've always been good at work, and I'm like, please don't. Please don't sack me. I need this job. I was washing cars. It was a car wash job. And I was like, please don't, I need this job. And he was like, look, really, I'll give you one more chance, please. I'll give you one more chance. I was like, thank you so much. And the next day I was late.
Did you go in?
No, I had to phone him up and tell him I couldn't come back.
What, because you woke up late?
Because I'd woke up late. And that's another thing. I have left so many jobs because I've been late and I've been too embarrassed to tell them. So I just won't go back.
So
I get this. We're talking 20 years ago, maybe, but not 20 years. But.
No, but like this is where it is. It's a almost like a bad bit about it, isn't it? Like the dark side of, and people might say, "Oh, like you're late," but like in that time when you were late and you lost your job, that's a dark time, because then you've got to go and find another job. You've got a family to support, etc. So
not that time whenever.
But you know, like for people who maybe have lost the job, like and stuff due to lateness,
and I think that comes into I've been late, and then the embarrassment, that shame of being late. So rather than facing that, the fear then makes you, I'm not going back. And I've genuinely done that. I would say more than 5 times. That's with bad. Jobs that I can't face coming back because I've been late, and the lateness embarrasses me so much that I won't go back, and I'll just never speak to them again.
But isn't that mental that it embarrasses you that much, but yet you were late again?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that was the best one. That was good.
So for a morning thing, so you say you're not a morning person. So in a morning with the time blindness, is it ADHD or is it time blindness? Because is it life? What is our podcast? Is it ADHD or is it just life? That you, in a morning, because you're not a morning person, is it just life that you're just lazy to get out? No, I don't mean like you're lazy, but you just, that 5 minutes more or 10 minutes more, just a bit lazy in the morning?
I can only compare myself just now to you, where you'll have your snooze or whatever, but you're always aware.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ADHD, the morning thing, because I physically don't wake up until you're until you're basically shaking me, or like I'm not awake until I'm properly wide awake and up. I don't think that's an ADHD thing.
No.
I think that's just
you think.
a
life thing.
Yeah.
So where does the ADHD kick in then?
Maybe the getting out of bed.
Okay.
So I don't. Is that a normal? People must be like that, but would people leave it until that very last minute where you've left yourself 4 minutes to thrash about in the bath and eat your dinner? I don't know. Is that the level thing? Is that a new level? Is it? I don't know. I
think people would definitely leave it till last minute, but for me, I think the ADHD thing comes into when you obviously it clicked in your head before that you get a rush out of it. So I think no sane person gets a rush. No sane person gets a rush out of rushing around, getting ready and making other people miserable and going out the door. And gets in the car and goes, whoop, what a rush. I think that very rarely happens.
I don't think that's a rush, but I'm really regretting saying that.
No.
I don't think that's a rush bit. I think the rush bit must be trying to get it all done in that time.
Okay.
But then I would call that last bit the crash, where you realise you've not, you fail miserably and you're going to be late.
I think that's the ADHD bit.
Yeah, I think
personally.
so.
Yeah. I think the other bits are just you as a person.
What about the scrolling thing? What about is that included in the ADHD thing, where if I'll be sitting on the couch or in bed scrolling and don't want to stop scrolling?
So is that almost like a distraction, maybe?
I think you're getting something out of the scrolling that you don't want to put
with
it down.
the dopamine level, isn't it? That you want to.
I don't want to
on.
keep saying
scrolling Facebook is a dopamine level.
No, it is without a doubt, and there's so many. But I feel like I mention dopamine every week.
Yeah.
I've tried to look into it and understand it, but I don't. I don't.
But that is a big thing with with ADHD, and I think that everyone's got their own dopamine levels. But I just think with somebody with ADHD, I think it's a different kind of dopamine that makes them distracted more. Does that make sense?
So is that ADHD that I scroll more and I struggle to get out of bed or get up off the couch because I'm scrolling and getting that good feeling?
Interesting. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's just you looking for that extra kick. Brilliant.
Always.
Yeah. So going forward, what kind of things do you think you could do?
So, as we said, I think the past 2 weeks have been better because I've been trying
a million %. Yeah.
Been trying to plan. I've been writing in this.
Yeah, you have.
Things have been written down.
Yeah. So I was suddenly reading it.
Yeah. I think planning is massive. I would like to go back into that timer thing. I'm gonna write the name of it in the comments. I can't believe I just said that. But write the name of it because that has worked for me so much. Working wise, that works for me.
Yeah.
Where set your timer for 40 minutes. You have a 5-minute break in between. Sometimes I'll just change what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you're at for it. You just do the 40 minutes and then change what you're doing, do something else for the 40 minutes and then another 40 minutes and then sit down for lunch and watch telly and
don't get up
4
again.
hours.
So then what about the evening thing? Do you think that's just you for life now with that, or do you think that you could... there's no point sitting here saying just get up 10 minutes early because it's not going to happen.
No.
And I think that's just like saying to a kid, like, don't touch that candle. It's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Don't touch that Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's only something that I can keep working at and keep trying.
Of course.
I make no promises. What I will try and do is, and I have been trying to be less stressed leaving.
Yeah.
And I don't think, sometimes that's not the time thing. Sometimes that's just because I've got to leave the house and I'm in a bad mood and it's that day, it's winter. And
we're still sat there watching TV, having a nice little family night, but you're like, I've got to go to work. Yeah.
And I love it when I get there. It's not...
Yeah, of
It's
course.
just the actual leaving it, which everybody goes through, don't they?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
moan. I'm not in the mind. But
Just realised what you said then.
yeah, but I can try harder to give myself more time. And
Oh, it's not like a lesson. Like, it's not like I'm not telling you off or anything, but just be better. Just don't take it out on us. Amazing.
have you seen the We Listen But We Don't Judge?
Yes. We've done ours, haven't
We
we?
need to do that. We need to.
Brilliant. Okay, so now it's time for the 5-minute moan. I'm going to go straight in with mine because it's...
wow.
Well, I tell you what, let's talk about last week's actually first. So,
Don't remember.
oh my gosh, I can't even remember mine. It must be... Oh, mine was the plates on the couch and stuff.
I've tried.
So I've noticed. And well done.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yours was... can't have been that bad if you...
No.
Oh, the fridge.
Oh, the oh.
Let's move on.
Oh no, I made the mistake last night of opening the freezer.
The freezer just needs defrosting.
No, the freezer is up too high.
It's just, I don't know where to change the freezer. Like, I don't know how you change the freezer. There's no dial.
Okay.
So, right. Anyway, let's move on. So this week, mine is very much about time management and so in the morning.
Oh,
So
pens down. Business.
You do the school run twice a week, okay? Thursday and a Friday.
Yeah.
And the alarm's set for 10 to 7. Okay. And the alarm wakes me up and I'm like, Adam, it's 10 to 7. Yeah, right. So I think, right, I'll get him up at 7. Brilliant. But the problem is that I can't go back to sleep then because I've got to wake you up and you're sat there snoring at the side of me, snoring. I'm like, well, I can't go to sleep because then we both won't wake up. So how is it fair that I then have got to stay awake? Not just for 10 minutes though, because then it gets to 10 past 7. That's when you finally get up. And then I'm like, Adam, shaking you, blowing in your face.
Adam.
And it's an effort to get you up. But I can't just relax.
I hear you. So there's a couple of things there. First of all, I don't hear the alarm. What's that all about?
Which is ridiculous because the alarm's on your side. It's so loud.
It is a very, very loud alarm.
Yeah.
I've not heard that song. Is it still? I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, it's still the
what
same song.
Right. So I don't hear that. Physically don't hear it. I don't know. What's that? I don't think that's ADHD. That's what is that?
No,
I
you
do
just
not
deep
hear
sleep.
that alarm.
I get that, right?
Mhm.
I get that.
Work very late at night. Don't get into very late and then can't shut off straight away. But it's okay. I'll get up early and do a school run.
I offered to do the school run, and you always say no. It's okay. So I get that. I get the time. The loud, like you're not hearing, so you're in deep sleep. But it's the whole like Adam, it's time to get up. And then you could then like kind of like wake yourself up a little bit. Even get your phone to like wake yourself up to like scroll, and like come round a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you fall back asleep straight away.
I've got an idea. What if I bring back my old alarm clock?
No.
But what did I have to do?
You had to work out sums.
I
Do maths questions.
had to do maths questions to wake myself up.
I'm not convinced it would work. I think you would still go back to sleep afterwards.
No, once I've done my maths.
I remember when we first met though, I used to love that. I used to do it for you. That defeats the object.
I remember one time my daughter came up and she came up from downstairs and she came up and done my sums and then went back downstairs.
Embarrassing.
I wish I could put that alarm on just because what is that like? That is proper
Horrendous.
Hear it 4 doors down. I don't think that's really something I'm in control of.
So I've just got to grin and bear it.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well I'm never gonna stop moaning about it.
But I think you get your morning out with the Adam, or the, is that what passive aggression is? Adam,
darling, it's time to get up. My death stare in my eyes.
So I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
No, I'm
Because
going to leave
I'm not
that with
physically awake.
you. No,
So
you have opened your eyes and said morning to me.
that doesn't count.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe I'll leave that with you and see if you can come up with something, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm putting my old alarm on.
Okay. Now, on to you.
My turn. I've had to change mine this morning. I had one planned, but I've got a couple in the back.
Have you, right? Me too.
And you mentioned something this morning about the shower, and I think this leads into the bad mood that I get into of an evening.
Okay.
When I get out the shower.
Yeah.
Because of what I've had to go through in the shower.
Right.
Because you insist on balancing your razor in the tiniest bit of the shower.
It's a tray. It's a tray.
It's not a tray. That tray's broke. So, but you balance it. Sometimes 2 razors, and you balance them on that bit of the toilet, the shower, so that every single night, without fail, I knock that over, and I've got to bend down and pick it up in the shower, and it rages me. And that puts me in the bad mood, and I come down to the living room and put the whole family in a bad mood, and it's all because of that razor.
So I hear you. The thing is, though, like that razor's always there, so just
Yeah, but it's always there and then always on the floor. Don't
knock it over.
But then I feel bad about leaving it on the floor, and then I pick it up, and then sometimes I think, no, she can pick it up. Sometimes I leave it, but then I'm scared of shredding my feet.
I will make more of an effort to put my razors down the bottom of the shower on the ledge of the bottom.
Okay. We can get you a new tray.
Well, we bought a tray and then you couldn't stick it up to the wall, could you?
Oh.
Remember? I've got a new basket on TikTok anyway. Okay. But yeah, I'll sort that.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can you move your earbuds? Can you move your earbuds?
Wait, I had a very bad situation with my ears at the weekend. Okay. It's been sorted this morning. They've been soaked. Microsuction, highly recommend.
Yeah, I'll move the razors, okay? But they are on that tray that's not broke. That tray that sticks out that the shower gel was on, it's not broke.
So why is the shower gel not on it?
So that was
because it's broke.
Did you break it recently?
No, it's just stuff does not balance on there.
Oh no, you're just not balancing it right.
No, we'll see. I'll show you.
Wait till we get home.
I'm going to wait until you're in the shower and throw razors at you.
Wow, that took a turn. Okay, so last bit then, we've just got 2 emails for our good, bad, and ugly. So this section of the pod, we ask you to email into us your good, bad, and ugly ADHD stories. Sorry, I just throw razors at you. To ADHDyourlife@gmail.com. So I've got one here, and this is quite a funny story actually. So one time at 7 a.m. on a work day, this person was sitting on their bed and they looked down at their nails, and as usual, they're long and unclipped. For a male as well. They forget to clip the nails. So after trying to clip the nails 7 times and forgetting, they tell themselves, okay, you're going to walk to the kitchen, grab the nail clippers. They're in the kitchen drawer, which is weird. Clip your nails and repeating nails in your head so you don't forget. It's a tiny walk. It's it's not far to the kitchen, and they're right there. So they get up, nails, repeating in their head. And 2 hours later, they're at work writing, on the computer, and they notice that they never cut the nails. I feel like that is you all over, not the nail clipping, but that is you all over with the. Like you will tell yourself to just remember the other week when you went to get upstairs to get my family? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do that daily, and I do the repeating thing. I try it, and then guaranteed I'll get downstairs and I've forgot it. Yeah.
And then the other one is they make a cup of tea, they forget about the tea. The tea cools, they open the microwave to reheat tea, and guess what they find in the cup of tea? Rinse, repeat. And this person said they make enough tea to over-caffeinate an elephant, yet don't actually consume enough to wake up a field mouse. I loved that. But yeah, so I think that's definitely something like that you can relate to as well. Like you will attempt to do stuff and then I like them too.
Yeah, I don't really drink hot coffee because I'll always have a couple of drinks on the go, and just there's 4 glasses next to the bed. I know I can see it in your eyes, but
I make them.
Yes, you do. Thank you. You're very good at making coffee. But I'll always leave it, and then I'll think, and it's a nice surprise actually when I remember it, and I'm lucky I can drink
cold coffee. Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, I can.
But I find them funny. Brilliant. That's it for this week. just before we go, actually, we're going to be having a new bonus episode out there. So every other Friday, we're going to be releasing a 10-minute little bonus episode called ADHD Hacks and Helps.
No,
ADHD
it's not.
Hacks and...
Help us, we need to change that.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
because help sounds better. And yeah, check that out.
Yeah, we're just going to be talking more about what we do, or I also want to talk about the diagnosis journey on it, because
diagnosis and anything you've done in that week or 2 weeks to kind of help you out. Brilliant. Don't forget to send your good, bad, and ugly stories to ADHDOrLife@gmail.com, and follow, like, and subscribe on all our socials, which is ADHD or Life Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
I should try X this week, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you promised that last week. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and send any ADHD good, bad and ugly stories to ADHDOrLife@gmail.com.